Chapter 8 Gigantic Jovian Jupiter Hurricane. After telling Zeus about the success of their Martian encounter, he ordered Gaia and her group to Ganymede for a meeting. Leaving the last of these inner planets, they used Jupiter as a guide. At 89,000 miles wide and 1,300 times larger than Earth, this first gaseous planet was always visible from Mars. "Wow, what a beautiful planet!" Aphrodite exclaimed with glee as they all approached this fifth planet from our sun. Still millions of miles away, they all stopped in mid-air to gaze at this picture-perfect giant. Although, due to its large size, this multi-toned peach-colored planet seemed to be standing still, even though it is our fastest rotating planet, spinning at 28,000 miles per hour. "I don't know, this place looks big and evil," Uranos moaned, as usual, while Helios growled in disagreement. "Actually, this place looks good enough to explore. I'm sure it has many intriguing geological features," Selene boasted. "Well, it certainly is humongous. It must have a lot of places to ride on," Ares dreamt pleasantly. "Okay, let's all resume our flight," Gaia ordered reluctantly. Accidentally not remembering about this, and with Zeus forgetting to remind her, Gaia inadvertently led her scouts into a large group of rocks, known as the asteroid belt. Theorized that it was a planet nestled between Jupiter and Mars, then crushed up in Jovian Jupiter gravity, this party of 7 soon was pelted by its small asteroids. So once again, this second cosmic collision sent them all into different directions again. Still out of control, Gaia continued heading towards Jupiter. Spiraling repetitiously, this obligated one saw Uranos in the same dreadful situation, then tried catching up to him. Shockingly witnessing a lot of space objects being swallowed up by this planet's jelly-like surface, Gaia then very quickly tugged his arm. Still twirling and approaching Jupiter's hurricane, known as the Great Red Spot, this superstar jumped into action. "Uranos, I will try to push you away," Gaia pointed out loudly while still hanging on to him. With both out of control, they headed towards the massive reddish-brown gigantic Jovian hurricane. "Okay, just fling me at the right moment," Uranos insisted as they both grew dangerously closer to this 5-mile-high phenomenon. "Ares, grab Aphrodite, then veer away from it also," Gaia firmly yelled. "Okay, will do," Ares replied loudly, just before pulling her away from this 25,000-mile-wide natural disaster located 22 degrees south of its equator. So, just in the nick of time, using all her strength, Gaia flung Uranos out of harm's way, back into space, while maneuvering her craft into position. Still out of control, she had to steer towards Ganymede to see Zeus. Tilting at the correct angle, the aerodynamic design of her craft steered Gaia in the right direction. With Ganymede on the other side of Jupiter, she was traveling too slow. So getting too dangerously close to this planet, Gaia entered its atmosphere to pick up speed, then slungshot 180 degrees around to actually land on Ganymede. Bigger than Pluto and Mercury, Gaia entered this solar system's largest satellite. Entering its atmosphere, she had to tilt her scooter up to slow down, using its thick oxygen atmosphere. Becoming 2.5 times heavier, which is the most on all of the planets, Gaia had to brace herself. Crash landing, she tumbled a few times unscathed. Witnessing all this from half a mile away, Zeus quickly ran over. "Gaia, are you all right?" Zeus inquired loudly with much concern. "Oh, yes," Gaia replied as she walked off her slight pain. The others were just hit by a bunch of asteroids, sending them in all different directions, but no one was seriously injured. Gaia explained very worriedly. "I know, I saw the collision on my computer monitor. I guess we did forget to warn them about it." Zeus admitted with much guilt. My scooter was damaged during the impact. It doesn't start up, Gia had to mention. No problem, we'll fix it, Zeus told her as he walked Gia and her scooter back to headquarters, where Cronus also comforted her. So after making minor repairs again, Zeus sent Gia to Callisto to rescue Ares. Discovered in 1610 by Italian astronomer Galileo, these kids were about to have some unforgettable, heart-stopping moments on his 4 found satellites. Now entering this second-largest Galilean satellite, she spotted Ares immediately due to Zeus's good directions. Not surprised seeing him skateboarding on its rock and ice surface, she comically attracted his attention. Oh, having fun are we now? Gia grinned with the supposedly serious look.
Oh no, of course not. I was just waiting for backup to form a search party to find the others just like last time.
Ares fibbed with slight guilt. Sending the good news about Ares' safety, Zeus gave Gia the pinpoints of Aphrodite's locale. Taking off together from this dark blue-gray moon, this duo soon reached Europa. Flying over its clear ice and brown, line-colored surface, they reached the Puel crater. At only 15 miles wide, they had no problem finding Aphrodite on this bright white near feature. Aphrodite, you're safe! Gia brightly lit up as this trio embraced each other in a big group hug.
Good to see you again,
Ares added. You know what, guys? Aphrodite speculated. There could be primitive life forms under this ice. All the signs are there.
Wow, you can be right. I understand how that can be,
Ares thought with much amazement. That is a remarkable theory. Zeus and I never thought of that on our prior exploration here. We'll be sure to mention it to him the next time we see him, Gia stated firmly. Soon after contacting Zeus of Aphrodite's safety and discovery, he gave Gia the location of Selene and Poseidon. Now approaching towards this most inner Galilean satellite, closest to Jupiter, chills ran down Gia's spine. Stopping and staring at it for a while, this trio, out of breath and with dreadful news, this couple started hyperventilating while trying to speak. Poseidon and I were just on that moon. Uranos is still there. He's in trouble, caught in a volcano. Selene yelled petrifyingly.
Yes, it is important that we all rescue him now, without further hesitation.
Poseidon hyperventilated very rapidly. Okay, could you lead us to him? Gia asked sympathetically. We'll all follow you.
We'll fly right behind you 3.
Aphrodite and Ares mentioned in sync with great apathy. Frighteningly entering this young surfaced satellite, Io, they had to fly only about 50 miles high so Selene could recognize the location. With sulfur and sulfur dioxide exploding up to 300 miles high, this quintet had to dodge many of its 400 active volcanoes. Understandably shaken, with their adrenaline flowing its fastest, this 4th largest satellite in our solar system is also the most active place in our solar system. Reaching this Armageddon-like place, located on its equator and facing away from Jupiter, they very reluctantly entered into this 17-mile-wide volcano named Prometheus. Meaning fire god, this extremely violent behemoth constantly blasts out boiling hot lava. Hypertensely pointing to where Uranos is holed up, Gia quickly gathered up her thoughts, then coordinated a plan. Yes, we can definitely squeeze in. Okay, everyone stay away from the fire and gather around. We must think up a plan to rescue Uranos. Gia cried while acknowledging this dire circumstance.
First and foremost, we all must assess this urgent situation from all different angles,
Poseidon pronounced with importance.
Aphrodite and I could enter through the back way on our skateboards, avoiding the flames,
Ares offered very humbly. Yes, we can definitely squeeze in that way, Aphrodite added carefully, due to prior experience with volcanoes. Actually, I think Ares and Aphrodite do have a good idea by entering through the back way, since the lava is flowing down in front of the volcano instead, Gia reminisced. Holding hands, they all formed a human chain, lowering each other for this daring mission with Gia as anchor and Aphrodite playing the rescuer. Uranos, give me your hand, Aphrodite demanded firmly as she stretched out her hand to his. I just can't quite reach it, Uranos stammered as his shaky hand just couldn't make contact with hers. Look out for the lava! Gia shrieked loudly just then as Uranos ducked with lava flowing right above him. Uranos, you must relax and grab her hand now, Ares instructed as he tried calming his neurotic one down. Whoa, whoa! Helios whimpered, trying to make sense of Uranos' predicament.
Just inhale a few deep breaths to cure your hyperventilation,
Poseidon medically advised.
Okay, I think I can do it this time,
Uranos anticipated as he grabbed his rescuer's hand confidently. Let's all pull ourselves up now, Gia dictated as she pulled them all to safety with the help of everyone else's assistance. Gathering together hastily right after this chilling encounter, they all briskly departed this 2,300-mile-wide moon. Finally, after telling him about this apocalyptic-like adventure, Zeus let them all take a long break until their next big adventure.